A few days ago, I conducted a poll about which game company was woker, Square Enix or Capcom. I wanted people to vote Capcom, and I was hoping they would, but unfortunately, Square Enix won out. I guess more people are pissed off at them. Has made a bunch of blunders, but they are on the process of downscaling some of their projects and are going to be focusing on making money in the future, I do believe. And we're going to see that in a big way with Visions of Mana, which I am super pumped for, and I'll get into why in a bit. As for Capcom, well, just take a look at this recent news that just dropped. Street Fighter developer Capcom announces they will now consider hiring non-Japanese directors to their board. Now, this came up in response to a question about how many women they're hiring. And this was a Japanese investor asking this question, like, why don't you have any women on the board? And their response is, oh yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to increase the women and we're going to add a non-Japanese person on the board.
Well, that's reassuring.
Or they're going to consider it, which means, yeah, they're probably going to. And that is just, for one, like, you know, the sex quota is just DEI, like, ESG, like, stuff. I didn't even think they had, like, do they even have laws like that here? I know it's kind of confusing in the United States, but, you know, it's like identity over merit, just more of that bullshit, which is frustrating. But even before this, they've been doing a bunch of woke shit, relocalizing the Apollo Justice games to remove gender references, removing Rupert Langdon, who has had a big relationship with the company for decades, and recasting him as Ken. And now it's up in the air if he'll even be Dante again. Oh, and hey, what about that SNK versus Capcom poster that got completely censored? A lot of people are blaming them for that. Like, pretty much all the censorship in Resident Evil 4 Remake. And the big thing, one of the big, like, tells was when they were promoting Exoprimal, which ended service, by the way, after a year. So to promote the game, they had VTubers promoting it in Japan and freaking drag queens in the West to promote their dinosaur third-person shooter. Oh my god, like, you can't make this stuff up. Like, you know, Capcom is just completely westernized. Meanwhile, Square Enix is still making games that cater to the Japanese audience, like Visions of Mana, and I'm really hoping that game does very well. And if you think, like, you know, oh no, you just gotta look at Final Fantasy VII Remake. Like, Kabrutus actually put Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth into his DEI category, which I disagree with, even though there is some DEI stuff in those games. I don't believe they were as heavily inserted, like Sweet Baby Inc. Like, I think his list should be, like, to keep tabs on, with Sweet Baby Inc. was, involved, or if any of these, like, consultancy companies were involved, and it's debatable whether or not hit detection did sensitivity reading on the game itself, even though they're in the credits. I don't think they did. But there is definitely DEI stuff in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but I'm getting off topic. The point is, like, the inconsistent stuff with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, with all the Western nuggets, well, a lot of that is just Square Enix just trying to please everyone. Like, they make a game that tries to please everyone, and then at the same time pleases no one. So, like, it'll have, like, really Japanese things in the game, and then it'll also have really Western things in the game, and then what you get is just this blend. That is what my explanation for Remake. Whereas Mana looks pure JRPG goodness, and I'm loving the art style, loving that fan service, loving the character design, and the director himself even says he doesn't feel like he has to please the West for this game, that he's going to keep true to the franchise, which is good. What people don't understand is Square Enix makes a bunch of different games and for a bunch of different audiences, but I think now they're going to have to be focusing on the Japanese market because that's where all the fandom is. That's where like people are super into these like big Western stuff. Well, that's why they sold a bunch of their Western IPs not too long ago to what's it called? Embracer, and they're squandering it. In fact, I think the Tomb Raider series is actually getting woker since Crystal Dynamics became a part of Embracer. Oh, this is a funny comment. Soon Capcom will move their HQ to California. Oh, please don't. Yeah, if they let a non-Japanese person on the board who has like the same trash Western views that are ruining modern business and modern gaming, it's just going to cause the company to sink even further and ruin more legacy brands. God, I'm also like really dreading that Dead Rising deluxe remaster and all the shit that's going to get censored in that. And I know they're going to censor more shit than just Larry. I freaking know. It's just Capcom can't freaking help themselves. Yeah, I have more faith that Square Enix can make a comeback than I do Capcom fixing anything. Anyways, that's all I have to talk about for today. Thank you all for watching this video. Please remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you all next time. Dash Attack out.